story of an acquaintance who took out €30,000, wrapped it in a bag and stashed it in his garage. The bag had previously had some food inside, he said, so it attracted rats, who ate the notes. Oh dear. More on this. This is just a Google search, really, on the not-so-silent bank run that is going on in Greece. I'm sure more is going to come out of that. Here we go. The Investment Watch woes Italy under fire, pain in Spain, silent bank run hits Greece. So all these are starting to bubble to the surface. Italy in the eye of a storm as cash runs low. Fears of a double-dip downturn on both sides of the Atlantic have set off fresh mayhem in southern European bond markets, dashing hopes that Europe's summit deal in late July would contain the escalating crisis. And there's a shocker, isn't it? What else has been going on? Oh yes, 35 billion wiped off UK shares as fear stalks the world economy. This came out today. A little bit of that. A massive 35 billion was wiped off the value of Britain's biggest companies yesterday as the global economy sunk deeper into crisis. Stock markets around the world fell as the debt storm in America blew across the Atlantic to Europe and threatened to engulf Italy and Spain. I don't think there's a threat of it engulfing. I think it's a definite. And if you think you've got expenses worries, empire of the spivs, we fret about our MPs' expenses, but in Italy the awesome corruption of politicians is frankly beyond belief. I've read all of this, but it is unbelievable what these they are just living the dream. They've got hairdressers on accounts. If they want a police escort, they say they've got a death threat, and etc, etc, etc. But where is the good bit that I have highlighted? I'm sure I highlighted something in here. There we go. One infamous case, a dentist persuaded officials in Brussels to lend him 80 million to launch a solar panel business. Instead, he used the money to buy a yellow Ferrari Testarossa along with 55 other cars and a yacht. Why not, mate? Why not? Yes, you can. In southern Italy, a new motorway has so far taken more than 20 years to build because the mafia demand payment for each mile it runs through their territory. And those are the kinds of things that go on in Italy. I'm sure they go on around the world, but the Italians, although they may be well dressed, they are certainly winning the expenses claim. Hands down, basically. And on the strength of all that, thank you, Miss for sending me this one. Gold to hit 2,000 before the year end. Gold at 2,000, I didn't used to think it's so, but now I'm not so sure. In fact, I'm almost convinced it will happen before this year is out. There is a little chart of how gold has basically followed. Every time they print or do QE, gold goes up, and we've just had another round of cloak and daggers, smoke and mirrors, and all the rest of it. So it's probably going to happen. I don't know if you can quite read that. Increasing the debt limit means you print more dollars, weakening the greenback and boosting gold. Career Investments Yahoo says. I just think there was another chart down here, but anyway, we will read this bit to you. There is also uncanny correlation between the gold price and the US debt ceiling over the past 30 years. The gold price has tracked the ceiling whenever it has been raised. The US economy is also flatlining, with slower growth now expected. Confidence in the country evaporated overnight, and a frantic hour of trading on Wall Street sent the Dow Jones Industrial Average on its worst run since the financial crisis, falling for the 8th successive day. The gloom has also raised the prospect of more money printing by the Federal Reserve. QE3 is not a certainty, but it is now more likely than it was even last week. This will further debase the value of the dollar and will cause even more investors to flee to the safe haven